guys, welcome back to Bombchu. I'm Austin, and today I'll be looking at the Humble Monthly Bundle from May 2019. It's just getting hot enough to be uncomfortable, but it's not quite warm enough to jump into the pool yet. That means no diving, but let's explore this bundle and see what we got. This month's Humble Original is Once Upon a Crime in the West. You come upon a cabin in the snow, with everyone dead except the bartender, who has a knife in his eye. Your job is to figure out who killed whom, with the help of a camera that lets you look at the last 12 days these people were spending together. This game is unintuitive as hell, but holy cow does it have style. It feels like playing a sheriff investigating the aftermath of the Hateful Eight, and the intro definitely has a distinct Tarantino feel to it. Without those aspects, I don't think I'd continue based on how sluggish the game plays, but hot damn, I love me some Tarantino. I'm Not a Monster is a multiplayer XCOM style game with a mafia party game twist. There are humans and there are monsters disguised as humans. The humans have the goal of escorting 7 of the 14 total citizens to the safe zone, while the monsters want to infect and kill enough citizens to prevent the humans from winning. Monsters must reveal themselves to affect another player, and it takes 2 turns to infect someone, so you'll need to be alone. If you die, it's not game over. Human players get transferred into a random citizen, upgrading them to hero status, while monsters get transferred into an infected citizen, if there are any. Names are random too, so if you're playing with friends, you don't know who they are. You just have to watch the behavior of the people around you to try and guess who's a friend or who's a foe. This is a fun idea, and the menu art and voiceovers are excellent. My beef with this game is inherent to XCOM-style games, in that sometimes it can take a while for a turn to resolve. There was also some controversy over the fact that this game was given away for free in the past, and to that I would say the first bundle I ever reviewed had Town of Salem in it, a game that could be played entirely for free in a browser, but if it hadn't been in the monthly bundle, I'd have never known about it and played it. And I've put tons of hours into that game because of it. Will it be the same case here? It's too early to say, but I certainly like the concept so far. Monster Prom is a multiplayer dating sim. Huh? Yeah, this is a dating sim you play with other people there to impede your progress. You have 2 weeks to find a date to the prom. Each phase of the day, you make a choice of where you want to go, or who you want to sit with at lunch, each choice affecting your stats and how others feel towards you. However, when a player chooses somewhere to be, the other players can't pick that option anymore for that phase. So turn order is kind of important if you want to keep your options open. How are turns decided? You can choose to have them randomized, but the much more fun way is with challenges. When you pick a challenge, each player answers a prompt out loud, such as pick a celebrity. And then you're given a debate topic, like which of the celebrities picked would have the weirdest video game. And the better you debate, the sooner you get your turn. This is purely managed by you and your friends, and it's probably my favorite part of the game. There are a ton of different outcomes that can occur, and several secret endings that you won't even have an idea of how to work on unlocking until you've had at least one playthrough. I don't like dating simulators, but with each game lasting 45 minutes to an hour and having friends to laugh with, I can't believe it, but I really like this one. The Journey Down, Chapter 3, is the final chapter in the Journey Down series. Didn't play the first 2 chapters? Neither did I, so I'm not really sure what's going on, and this was a pretty questionable choice from Humble to only put the final chapter in here. But that's not the fault of the game, so let's see what we can find out about it. It's a point-and-click adventure game with the humor style of the Monkey Island games. Walking and screen transitions are tedious, but dialogue can be skipped through one line at a time. So if someone is repeating themselves or just talking way too slow, as is common in this type of game, it's a nice feature to have. Puzzles are fairly intuitive without being super obvious immediately. I'd say it's just right in terms of difficulty. Story-wise, yeah, I got nothing. Based on Steam reviews, it sounds like this was a really awesome conclusion to the storyline, but damn, Humble, where are the other 2 games? This next game I covered at the end of last month's review. If you've already seen my look at Assassin's Creed Origins, you may want to skip ahead. Timestamps for each game are listed down below. Assassin's Creed Origins is the 10th game in the Assassin's Creed series, giving the franchise a soft reboot in terms of story and gameplay. If you haven't played through the rest of the series, don't worry, this one sheds most of the story, with some minor references thrown in for series veterans that aren't necessary to enjoy the game. There's no more modern-day story, no Abstergo, no Animus to interact with. You're just a dude in ancient Egypt looking to put the ass back in Assassin. By the way, I'm still on Assassin's Creed 4, so if some of what I mention as new is in later games, I'm so sorry. Stealth is still the most efficient way to dispatch your enemies, but as always with Assassin's Creed, if you get caught, you can fight your way out, even if it means doing it slowly. Fighting feels much more action-oriented now, feeling less like waiting for counters and more like finding opportunities to chip away at your opponent's health. Get your adrenaline all the way up, and you can do a big move for a ton of damage. You also have experience and level ups now, which increase your strength, defense, and give you skill points that you can use to enhance your abilities. This makes the world much more open from the get-go, but if you try to do something with enemies around who are much higher level than you, you're gonna be in a lot more trouble if you're spotted. It's a refreshing change, as I would often spend my time in older games trying to get all the town objectives, only to find parts of the map artificially blocked off until I did more story. This is also the first time I've found mounts to be useful. In past games, they were so unwieldy, I just didn't bother to use them unless I absolutely had to. In this game, I have no idea if they control well or not, but there's a button to make them auto-follow the road, and another button to have them take you to your objective, so you get to just enjoy the scenery. It may sound dumb, but I really enjoy games that have an auto-travel system instead of a fast travel system. You get to take a breather between missions, and you get a much greater familiarity with the layout of the land, all without having to deal with getting yourself around. I'm surprised to say that, at least as far as I've gotten, I'm actually enjoying Assassin's Creed Origins. Wandersong is a musical puzzle platformer. You're a bard in a land full of ghosts and monsters, a land that is about to be destroyed by the gods to create a new universe. What's a bard to do? You use the power of your voice to solve problems in a very wholesome way. What at first seems like a fight against enemies lets you get close enough to see their perspective on things, come to a mutual understanding, and generally make everyone happier for it. Your voice is the key to it all. You can play notes from a wheel one at a time, which you'll use to match patterns, grow plants, or fend off enemies. You also use it to answer questions, which you answer one syllable at a time. Not practical, but very charming. The writing for this game is pretty solid, and while gameplay is fairly simple, you're never stuck in one place or doing one thing for very long, so the pacing is never thrown off, at least as far in as I've played. My one complaint is that while I like the writing, sometimes conversations can go on a bit long, and drag down the game, making me avoid talking to villagers unless I have to, which sucks, because I bet some of them have some pretty funny stuff to say. Do Not Feed the Monkeys is... Man, I feel really slimy after playing this game. You are the newest member of the Primate Observation Club. To stay in the club, you must level up every 5 days, and to level up, you need to buy 5 cages for monkeys for you to observe. Except cages are actually camera feeds, and the monkeys are actually people. You observe them, find out their dark secrets, and then you have options on what to do with that information. You can find out who they're harming and inform that person so they can take action. Or you could record it and send the video to the person you're watching to blackmail them. To do any of that, you have to figure out information about the person you're watching. They'll talk to themselves or others, and you can click on yellow words to add them to your information. Get enough information about a specific topic, and you can take a guess at something important, like their location or occupation. You can use any combination of these words on your search engine to find even more information, eventually getting you names, addresses, phone numbers, and beyond. To add to all this, you need money, and a lot of it. You have to keep up with buying 5 new camera feeds every 5 days, as well as buy yourself food and pay for rent. You can do odd jobs to make money, but that eats up your time each day, as well as some of your sleep, hunger, and health. So maybe that blackmail option starts looking like an easier way out. Like I said, it makes me feel slimy as hell, but it's also incredibly fascinating, especially trying to solve cases or get a new piece of information on someone. I'd say this is one to try for sure if you can handle it. Finding Paradise is the long-awaited follow-up of To the Moon. If you didn't play that game, well, you probably should, but you don't need to before playing this, as they're 2 separate stories. This one follows the same two doctors from the first game working on a new case. They're tasked with fulfilling the last wish of people who are dying. This is achieved by going through the patient's memories from now back through to their childhood, and helping them make a defining choice, creating a new life in their memory in which they fulfill their own wish. It's an emotional story that gives me goosebumps just thinking back on it, and a wonderfully told story at that, unfolding one piece at a time. The engine used to make this game is super old, and it runs at a dreadfully low resolution, which on the one hand makes the 16-bit style graphics very authentic, but at the same time it can look a bit blurry, and it's a slow game to start. If you love To the Moon, play this one for sure, and try not to get turned off by the first half hour. Things do pick up after a bit. If you haven't played To the Moon, well, that's a really important PC game you should go try, but feel free to try this one out first. So overall, how was this bundle? We had some weird games in here. A voyeur simulator, the last game in a story-based franchise, and beyond. We got 2 multiplayer games in genres I would never associate with multiplayer, and we got a lot of new games I had never heard of. And you know how much I love discovering new games through these bundles. So how much bang for your buck was there? Getting all these at full price would cost about $147, while getting these at their lowest sale price would cost about $59. Down to 8 games, and definitely one of the lowest values we've had in a while. Overall, I'd say this was a weird bundle, but still enjoyable. This is far from one of the best we've gotten, but I still got a good number of games here to enjoy, with the only one I really can't do much with being The Journey Down Chapter 3, which is sure to please the rare person who only had the first 2 chapters and never got the third one that's been out for 2 years. Next month's bundle has Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Battle Edition in it. Let's take a sneak peek. Call of Duty Black Ops 4? How did Call of Duty go from being universally praised back in the days of COD 2 to new heights in Modern Warfare to, well, one of the most reviled franchises in gaming today? Personally, I think it was when they stuffed in zombies, but what do I know? Let's look at the bad first. Call of Duty is a yearly franchise. It's very by the numbers, and when it makes a change, it's usually copying a competitor. Call of Duty has some of the most expensive DLC, with a lot of the maps being maps from old games, meaning even less work went into the DLC that you're buying. On top of that, Call of Duty now has microtransactions, and as of February, loot boxes, which don't just contain cosmetics, but also characters and weapons. I played Black Ops 3 for a bit, and I thought the story was dumb as hell, but there are a lot of people who really love Call of Duty for the story, and that's gone here too. And not just for the Battle Edition that we got. There exists no Black Ops 4 story. It was replaced by a Battle Royale mode called Blackout, which we'll get to in a bit. Speaking of the Battle Edition, this comes with the multiplayer and the Battle Royale modes, cutting the Zombies mode out, which is a-okay with me, but I know a lot of people really care about the Zombies mode, sometimes exclusively playing that mode, and they are pissed off. Oh, and holy crap, this is a 115GB download, despite cutting out the Zombies mode. Finally, look at this logo. Activision thinks its player base is too dumb to know that IV is the Roman numeral for 4, so they did 4 I's. Just amazing. Alright, let's talk about the good. I played Call of Duty 2, and then I didn't touch the series again until the multiplayer mode of Black Ops 3 was included in a monthly bundle a while back. And I tried it, and damn, I can't lie, when you get down to the actual gameplay in a match, I was really having fun. Gunplay felt great. Kill streaks were great rewards, but also decently fun to deal with when the enemy team got them. Everything surrounding the gameplay was still gross, but playing a match was damn fun. It was like dating a terrible person who's great at sex. So much about it makes you want to leave, but damn, something makes you want to stay, at least for a little while. With that past experience, I came into Black Ops 4 with an open mind, and I came out disappointed. Gunplay is fine, but it doesn't have that excellent feel it did in 3. You make a lot more noise when you run now, which I guess is a change they made along with adding Battle Royale. Your stomping is like really obnoxiously loud. The worst part is the game has nasty stutters, despite me running it on a powerful system and from an SSD. And this was after getting the game fully downloaded, a terrible problem to have in a multiplayer shooter. Blackout mode is fine, but not great. The island is small, and it seems you have to take out a full squad before they truly stay down. This can be nice when playing with friends, as when you die early, you aren't stuck watching your friends play the rest of the match without you, as you get to redeploy as long as someone on your team is alive. However, it can also make it feel like your kills aren't really getting you closer to victory. Also, there are other better Battle Royale games out there which are free. It's a fun distraction if you really like Call of Duty and want something else to do, but I personally think they'd have pleased a lot more people with the campaign. If you're not limited on bandwidth or hard drive space, feel free to give it a try. Otherwise, I would avoid it. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of this video. This month we've partnered with IGDB. IGDB is on a mission to become the single source of truth about gaming and offer the ultimate online platform for gamers across the world. IGDB allows you as a gamer to track your gaming history, discover new games to play, create lists about what matters to you, socialize with fellow gamers, and help out by contributing information about games, platforms, and companies. One area of interest for me is game engines, and I love seeing what games share what engines. A ton of the games I looked at on IGDB had the engine listed, and I can click and see what other games use that engine. Wikipedia had this listed for some games, but a lot of the games I looked at that had this listed on IGDB didn't have it listed on Wikipedia. Enjoy the bird's eye view of Minute? That's listed under Player Perspectives, and hey, here's a list of games that play with that perspective. You can find screenshots, trailers, gameplay, news, reviews, and credits for any particular game, all under one page. To be clear, IGDB is not paying me, they just like my stuff, and I like their stuff, so we're promoting each other. If IGDB sounds cool to you, there's a link to them down below. Hey, we have a Discord. We talk about games, play stuff together, and I've just started hosting giveaways there. Cool. You should join. I also stream. You can catch me on Twitch on Fridays, including the first Friday of every month when the Humble Monthly Bundle launches. Come by and say hi. Finally, a big thank you to Gabriel Skaggs, Michael Slater, and all our patrons over on Patreon. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.